The night was quiet aboard Earth's deep space listening station, a lonely metal outpost drifting far from home. Commander Hale sat alone in the control room, half watching the silent monitors when a strange signal flickered onto the main screen. At first, he thought it was static, but then the message repeated, sharp, panicked, and full of fear. Hale leaned forward. "This is an SOS," he whispered. The computer translated fragments of the message, but the translations only made the air grow colder. Words like collapse, hostile force, and immediate danger flashed across the screen. The voice in the transmission sounded desperate, like someone begging for life. But it wasn't human, and it wasn't meant for humans. The signal carried an alien frequency, something no known species used. Even more strange, the message was tagged with a code that translated to one word: Deathworlders. Hale felt his spine tighten. In old alien records, Deathworlders were a legend, terrifying beings who survived impossible worlds and fought like nature itself. But humans never called themselves that. Earth Command was alerted within minutes. Generals, scientists, and analysts gathered around the signal feed, each more confused than the last. Who sent it? Why did it reach us? And why are they calling for Deathworlders? The room fell silent when the AI finished decoding the message. To any surviving Deathworld species, help us. They are coming. Hale looked at the hologram of the sender's star system, a dark, unstable region filled with debris. Something had wiped out entire fleets there. Something still hunting. Earth Command made its decision. Deploy HSS Vengeance, humanity's most feared warship, a symbol of survival, strength, and silent warning. As the engines roared to life, Hale whispered the words that closed the part. Whoever sent the SOS, they will learn who answered. The HSS Vengeance rested inside Earth's military dock like a sleeping giant, silent, dark, and waiting for a reason to open its eyes. When the SOS signal reached command, that reason arrived. Now the giant began to wake. Metal plates shifted. Towers of machinery unlocked. The deep hum of its core engine grew louder until it sounded like a heartbeat made of thunder. Thousands of lights blinked alive along its armored hull, turning the ship from cold steel into a living creature built for war. Commander Hale stepped onto the command bridge. The moment he entered, the crew stood straight, their faces sharp with focus. They all felt it, the weight of the unknown, the mystery of the alien plea, and the fear of something powerful enough to send such a desperate message. Hale stared at the star map. "That is where the SOS came from," he said, pointing at the dark region near a collapsed star. "And that's where we're going." The Vengeance left the dock with a slow, steady force that shook the station around it. As it reached open space, its engines ignited fully, leaving behind long trails of blue fire. Across distant galaxies, sensors of alien empires detected the launch. Panic and awe spread instantly. "Deathworlders have deployed a warship," some whispered. "Which species?" others asked. But when they saw the human signature, their voices fell silent. Humans, the unpredictable ones. The ones who survived everything their deadly homeworld threw at them. The Vengeance jumped into faster-than-light travel, entering a long corridor of swirling energy. As the space around them stretched like liquid, the crew watched strange shadows flicker across sensors. Something was moving in the deep. Something old. Something waiting. A faint pulse appeared on the radar. Weak, almost dying. A survivor. Hale leaned forward. "Prepare rescue teams. Someone out there still breathes." The faint life signal guided the Vengeance into a silent field of drifting metal. Burned hulls. Shattered wings. Lifeless bodies frozen in space. Whatever battle happened here, it was over long before humans arrived. Commander Hale stood on the bridge, watching the debris slide past the windows. "Search every corner," he ordered. "Anyone alive, we bring them in." A rescue shuttle left the Vengeance and glided toward a broken alien transport ship, its walls cracked, engines dead, and lights flickering like dying candles. Inside, the air was cold and thin. Lieutenant Mara and her team entered slowly, weapons ready but pointed down. They followed the weak biosignature through narrow corridors until they reached a small compartment sealed from the inside. Mara tapped the door. "This is a human rescue team. We're here to help." For several seconds, There was only silence. Then the door opened a few inches. Two large eyes stared back, filled with terror. The alien inside was thin, trembling, its skin pale from stress and exhaustion. Behind it, 3 more survivors huddled together, clutching each other like frightened children. When they realized the rescuers were humans, their fear grew stronger. One of them whispered something in their language, something the translator quickly decoded. Deathworlders, they sent Deathworlders. Mara tried to calm them. You're safe now. We're not your enemy. The aliens didn't seem convinced. To them, Deathworlders were creatures from nightmare tales. Unpredictable, unstoppable, impossible to survive against. Seeing humans standing alive and calm in a place where entire fleets had died only made their fear deeper. Back on the Vengeance, Hale listened as the translator processed their story. A single sentence changed the atmosphere on the bridge. The ones who destroyed our fleet, they're coming for you next. A cold silence fell. Whatever hunted these aliens was now hunting the humans too. Commander Hale stood at the center of the bridge as the rescued aliens projected a hologram of the thing that attacked them. The image flickered, sharpened, and the room fell silent. It was not a fleet. It was not a species. It was something in between, alive, but built like a machine, a harvester. Its long black body looked like a twisted mixture of metal and bone. Sharp limbs extended from its sides, glowing with a sickly green light. Its mouth, if it was a mouth, was a ring of rotating blades that pulsed like a heartbeat. The hologram shook the air with a strange clicking noise, almost like hunger. We thought they were a myth, one alien survivor whispered. But they are real, and they do not stop. Hale studied the hologram calmly, though a storm churned inside him. What do they want? The alien's voice cracked. Everything. They consume suns, worlds, and species. Sensors on the Vengeance suddenly beeped. A nearby shadow appeared on the long-range scan. Then another, and another. Their shapes were unmistakable, long, sharp, and moving with unnatural speed. They're here, Hale said quietly. The ship's alert sirens lit the corridors red. Crew members ran to their stations. Weapons locked into position. Shield systems charged. Outside, dark shapes emerged from the cosmic dust, sleek, blade-like ships sliding through space like predators smelling fresh blood. The first wave attacked. Energy beams slammed into Vengeance's shields, shaking the entire hull. Sparks danced across the bridge as systems struggled to stabilize. But the Harvester fleet didn't stop. More ships poured in, surrounding the human dreadnought like wolves closing around a wounded animal. The rescued aliens watched in horror. You cannot defeat them, one said. No species ever has. Hale stared at the incoming swarm and whispered. Then it's time they met humans. The first strike from the Harvester fleet hit the Vengeance like a meteor. The entire ship shook, lights flickering, metal groaning under pressure. But the crew did not panic. Humans were used to chaos, born from a world that never treated them gently. Commander Hale gripped the railing. Return fire. Full power. The Vengeance obeyed like a living beast awakened. Railguns roared, firing long streaks of glowing metal that tore through the nearest Harvester ship. Plasma cannons followed, ripping open the creature machines with burning blue fire. The battlefield lit up like a storm of exploding stars. Still, the Harvesters kept coming. They moved with unnatural coordination, swarming around the dreadnought, scraping at its shields with blade-like limbs, trying to break inside. Their attacks felt almost personal, like they were angry at the ship's existence. On the lower deck, human engineers rushed to keep systems stable. Sparks flew from broken panels. Pipes burst. The shield generator overloaded again and again. Yet the humans kept fighting, shouting orders through smoke-filled corridors, refusing to take a single step back. In the fighter bay, Lieutenant Mara launched with her squadron. Their small fighters darted between enemy beams, striking weak points with precision. Mara's voice cut through the comms. Target joints and energy cores. Hit them where it hurts. But the enemy adapted. A massive Harvester battleship, the size of a small moon, rose from the darkness. Its surface twisted and reformed as if alive. Huge rings of energy spun around it, gathering power. Hale felt his heart drop. That thing, it could destroy planets. The enemy battleship charged its main weapon. The Vengeance's shields cracked with warning alarms. "Prepare the Titan Lance," Hale ordered. "This ends now." The crew exchanged nervous looks. Using the Titan Lance could save them or tear the ship apart. As the massive enemy drew closer, the Vengeance began to charge its deadliest weapon, one final gamble for survival. The Vengeance shook violently as the Harvester battleship charged its planet-killer beam. The air felt heavy, the lights dimmed, and every crew member knew this was the moment that decided everything. Commander Hale stood tall on the bridge. "Titan Lance status?" "Charging, 80% 90, an officer replied, voice trembling. Outside, the Harvester battleship opened its rotating mouth of energy, gathering a green storm that looked ready to swallow the dreadnought whole. Smaller Harvester drones circled like vultures, waiting for the final blow. "Commander," Lieutenant Mara said through the comms, her fighter damaged but still flying, "if that weapon fires, nothing survives." Hale exhaled slowly. "Then we fire first." The Titan Lance reached full charge. The entire ship vibrated as the weapon focused all its energy into a single point at the front of the hull. The crew braced themselves, holding on to anything solid. "Fire," Hale whispered. The Titan Lance released a blinding beam of pure white energy, a spear of light that cracked the darkness of space. It struck the Harvester battleship dead center. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then everything happened at once. The battleship split open like shattered glass. Explosions erupted along its body. Rings of burning metal spiraled outward. The smaller Harvester ships screeched in strange mechanical cries as their control vanished, and they tore apart in every direction. Silence followed. The Vengeance floated in the debris field, damaged but standing. The rescued aliens stared at the destruction with disbelief. "You defeated them," one whispered. "Humans don't run," Hale replied. "Anyone who sends an SOS, we answer." The aliens lowered their heads, not in fear, but respect. As the Vengeance turned for home, its scarred hull glowing softly, one truth spread across the galaxy. Deathworlders had answered the call, and humanity had changed the fate of another species forever.